Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports UK.
Hello, I'm Scott Bogie, here with Combat Sports UK, here with Blake Smith before his fight against Keith Speed. How are you doing today?
That's right. I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
No worries. So you're fighting Keith Speed at this event. Now, with both you guys being from Florida, if I'm correct, I think he's just from 20 minutes, about 10, 20 minutes from Tampa. Do you think there isn't going to be...
A little bit. He's a little bit farther than that.
A little bit further. Do you think the crowd is going to be about on the same side, or because you're from Tampa, that gives you the crowd?
Yeah, it's gonna be more my crowd for sure.
It sounds good. And how has the training camp been for this fight?
Pretty good, bro. I'm with a new team, so I'm feeling more confident than all my previous fights.
That sounds good. And what weaknesses have you seen from Keith so far?
Good question. He's game. So, weaknesses, I feel like I'm gonna put a pace on him, and I feel like he'll fold at some point. But he'll push, but I don't think he'll push the way I'm gonna push him.
Exactly. And the last time you were in the octagon, it was last year in Bellator against Chris Linsoni. Sadly, that didn't go your way. How did you feel the fight was going up until the stoppage?
After we both had a big exchange, I was confident. And then once he started grappling, it was pretty much, he was always a step ahead. He's honestly the best grappler I've ever fought. I got thrown in there. He was top 15 Bellator at the time. So he did everything that I saw he was going to do, everything that I prepared he was going to do. Fortunately, he was just a step ahead that night. He was the better martial artist that night, but I've grown from that. I've gotten with a lot better grappling school, so that's why I say in the beginning of the conversation, I'm a lot more confident in this fight. And credit to Chris, he hit me with a submission that I've never been hit with before. And luckily, I've seen it in the gym now. So I thank him for
that. And what did you think in that fight that you did particularly well?
His ability to stay a step ahead in every grappling exchange, where his body needed to be. After, it was crazy. He didn't throw another punch the entire fight. He just out-grappled. And that was the first time that happened. Like, I rocked him big, and then after that, he just was able to move, and like his footwork was able to get him safe. And I learned from that. So that, again, I appreciate him for that.
And in that fight, it was actually you did actually move down to featherweight. You are naturally a lightweight. You are fighting back at lightweight this time. Do you think that was a one time at featherweight, or would we see you back there?
Yeah, I'll go back there again. I'm a good size lightweight, but I just felt good going to 45. I do want to try it again, obviously in a bigger opportunity. But if the bigger opportunity comes and they say 55, I'll be gladly to oblige to stay at 55. But I would like another opportunity to fight at 45 just to right that wrong.
Exactly. And this is your return back to Cage Fury. How did it feel last time you were in Cage Fury, being able to get that guillotine choke again, Kamchibekov?
Oh, it felt good when I won the title. I was the underdog going to that fight. Some fights I'm kind of written off before it started, especially that fight. They didn't think I was gonna, because I was coming off of a layoff then as well. I was coming off another injury from that fight. So to go get a finish like I did there, and I'm gonna go get a finish on this
And then you were able to get that first defense against, I think it was Paris RTS.
one. Yeah.
Did that feel
Yeah. Yeah.
you think you were able to solidify yourself as champion after that fight, after you got your first defense?
I did because Paris was tough and he was kind of tricky. All his wins were finishes, and I believe he fought again after me and got another finish. So,
Yeah.
he's definitely a finisher. And that should obviously show to people that I'm a gamer
Yeah.
and I rise in those matches. So just the same as Keith Speed, he trains at a good gym. I'm gonna rise to that competition, and I assume he's ready because if he's not, he's gonna be in for a rude awakening.
Exactly. You are the champ, well, former champ, so you have got the skills to be able to defeat Keith. Now, you are fighting on the same card as the current champion who is looking to defend that belt. Do you think this gives you the opportunity to show the champion that you're ready to take him on once again and get that belt back?
I'm actually not even looking at him. So the crazy thing about it, I'm no disrespect to him, and I've seen him Watley, I believe. I don't want to pronounce his last name wrong.
Yeah.
But he's pretty good. He's actually pretty good. I would honestly see me and him fighting for UFC undercard or even a contender series. That's how our skill sets I feel match up. No disrespect to CFFC, respectfully, but I feel like me and him are a step ahead, and which is why he's a champ and I'm a former champ. So I feel like we should put on a bigger show. I feel like we should be seen in front of a bigger audience because that fight would be very, very intriguing for the fans and myself included. I'm sure he would like that fight. The interim champ, Forrest, I've trained with him before. He's gonna be ready to fight. I just hope Forrest just make sure he dotted his I's and crossed his T's because Wiley's experienced guy.
And
so, but to answer that question, I'm not even looking for a title. I'm looking to go solidify myself as a good performance, a good finish, and have the upper echelons call me again, like Bellator or UFC.
Exactly, and you have definitely shown that you are able to get into that caliber. Is there anyone else in particular that you're looking to fight in either of these organizations?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, a fun fight probably would be me and like Bobby Green, or even I don't know, just a fan fight, Dustin Poirier. But that's not gonna happen because Dustin's not, he'll be gone by the time I get there. But definitely a dream fight of mine would probably be Dustin or Max Holloway for sure.
That would be a good fight to have. There is rumors that Max is going to fight Ilia Topuria for the featherweight championship. I don't think it's confirmed yet, but it was speculated on the UFC French broadcast last night. So it is definitely in the works. Speaking about Cage Fury, how did that organization compare to the likes of Bellator?
Oh, good question, man. Besides the pay, they take care of you. Bellator had a few more perks. But CFFC, they're doing a good job for real. They're Mr. Rob, Aries, the matchmaker. They're doing a real good job. Obviously the venues, because they have a little more marketing or bigger financial backing, but CFFC is pretty up there, man. Bellator are obviously the biggest I've fought on, but CFFC's they're doing good. That's a good question.
And they are in the UFC Fight Pass, so that does bring more attention to these fights and gives you a bit more chance to get your name out there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like the likes of the Dawkins brothers? I know Kyle's the middleweight champion. Chris Dawkins is making his debut for the heavyweight title. Do you think that's bringing more eyes onto Cage Fury?
I feel like each title fight brings more eyes, especially guys like you just mentioned. Um, all the champs period at the weight classes. I feel like obviously people watch more so because of the title fight, right? And
Yeah.
it's a possibly 5-round fight. So the skill sets are pretty good. Um, but to answer that, it does help. It does help because especially they're bigger guys and people like knockouts. Anything can happen in those weight classes.
And you were saying earlier on that you are wanting to head back into either Bellator, PFL, or the UFC. Have you had any
Yeah.
talks surrounding that if you do get the victory against Key Speed that you are able to get a fight in there, or they just wait and see what happens?
Yeah, just wait and see what happens. Nothing's been set in stone yet, but I'm training under Billy Quarantello, Matt Arroyo. Obviously, Billy trains under Matt, so we train under Matt. I train under Matt and Billy, right? So Jalen Turner just started coming around. Matt Frivola, he comes into town. So I'm around these high level guys more, man, and I'm just appreciative. So it's my time will come because what I hear in the rooms. So my time will come. I just got to go do what I need to do on the 26th with Keith and not overlook him. Just go straight through him, and then we'll handle the next step from there. Because I'm still improving at the end of the day. It's just the fact that now I'm way more confident. I'm sparring in the cage now. That may sound so minute, so small, but even just being in the cage more is definitely helping.
Yeah, exactly. And so thank you for coming on here to talk about that fight. You were fantastic. And if you haven't already, make sure you grab tickets if you are near the Tampa area to go watch the fight. It will be a great experience. If you are near the area, make sure you tune into UFC Fight Pass. It's an event you cannot miss. And I'm sure you will definitely get the victory against Keith.
Thank you, bro, for sure. Finishing.